this is a handsome angle. This is like camera 2, the raw uncut version.
I'm trying to share this video.
All right. G and the boys. Thank you. Are we rolling here? Let me see.
Yeah. Is that one live
Oh,
too?
no. My Audacity. I can't figure my Audacity out.
Road
Waves is in the house. Thank you, boys, for taking the time. There's a whole bunch of gear you guys brought in here. I carried 1 or 2 pieces, but I love you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bro.
No problem, man. Thanks for having us.
G, tell us about the journey, especially like lately. Like you know, I thought it was so beautiful. Scotty rolls in the other day. He's like, yeah, I popped into the lighthouse the other day in the middle of a jam, and I know what he's talking about. Those locomotive trains that they're unstoppable. You know what I mean? And you can't recreate that, but you guys manage to all the time. You know, sometimes you feel I'm going to talk. This is a great way I found to interview my boys without actually being on camera. It's awesome. Well, hopefully they can't hear me either. Dude, the freight train, the jam that doesn't, like, you can't knock it. And then, yeah. Anyways, talk about the new album, some of the dates, and then you guys can take turns introducing yourself as...
Yeah, man.
Roadways.
Before the album's released, we're going to be releasing a music video April 17th. Tuesday, April 17th.
Yeah, get right up on that, G.
Which is like under 2 weeks. The music video was made by DH Media. Awesome people. It was really fun to work with them. Had a lot of laughs. We were actually having a lot of laughs yesterday while we were talking to them. We got to see the rough cut. But yeah, other than the music video, we're releasing our album Red Sun Rising Friday, May 11th at the Warehouse Concert Hall. Sorry, I always put the before it. And then we're doing like a CD run for about a week and a half after that, in different locations. Going to do London, Ottawa, Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie. Our tour, this is our biggest tour yet. I've got about 40 dates booked right now over 4 or 5 months and counting. Like, I'm still kind of booking. Got a month till we hop on tour. Yeah, I think that right now that's all that's developed. The past year has been like, we've been exponentially working harder because, I don't know, we went on our first tour and we loved it. It was 15 shows in a month to the West Coast and back, and we were just hooked. As soon as we went out there, we were hooked. And I started booking while we were on tour for the next year.
Awesome. What is it? What's the hook? What is it when you go out west? You're away from home.
Yeah, you're away from home. The music's fresh.
You're reaching
a new crowd. You're meeting new people. Even without the music, traveling itself is amazing.
Right,
like, I've always loved it. But with the music, it adds a whole new element because it's almost like a sense of purpose. You don't get too caught up in like any one thing. There's some sort of magic in the music too. Every night we played something totally fresh. We had a different scenery to look at. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe you guys can talk about what hooked you.
I think experiencing the different atmospheres of like each place really makes it unique in its own way. Just finding those,
pull it up there.
Finding those good spots where, you know, you feel like that's a place to go back to every time.
Yeah, totally.
Now, I love how you guys share on the social media too, because it's almost like, I don't know, I haven't seen the video, but I feel like you've clipped it enough, little pictures of the place you shot in, and it almost feels like the spirit of the moment is in those shots. Like I'm looking, you know, I'm a huge honk, but you know what I mean? I'm a Roadways fan.
I think one of my favorite parts about like improvising a lot is that there's always like at least half of the song is in the moment. Like, there's so much of like the vibe of how we're feeling right then, which translates when you're on tour. Like, sure, when you're on tour, no matter what, the energy is going to be amazing.
Whoa.
You got it?
Whoa. Watch it doesn't tip over now. Yeah.
So like I was saying, the energy is going to be amazing no matter what when you're on tour, but because we improvise, it kind of shines through a bit more in the song. There's a bit more malleability, or It's kind of like a conversation. Like it's not planned every night, so like our ideas are less stagnant. I think.
What about the live shows? If you can't really, I know you got a set list probably, and you're going into live. No
set list.
Let's see.
And it's different every time. Like we just rehearse a lot so that we have our catalog of songs that we know.
So you just step out, someone creates a rhythm or a beat or a lead or a note.
No, I usually do call the songs out on stage.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of it as it's happening because like I said, it's such a flow energy thing. Like I can't, like half the time when I do write down a set list, it's completely different when we get on stage.
Talk to us about the process. The point I was getting to, Scotty was saying, man, I walked into the middle of a jam and they're really sounding good. Now, you guys have been playing for a long time, rehearsing for the album, rehearsing for rehearsing for your studio time, then the studio time on top of that. Mm-hmm. You know, is there something about, you know, the repetition, the being together that kind of lets the jam manifest from a familiarity standpoint? Because you guys have been playing these new songs over and over and over. Are they changing much, or are they just still original and you're just honestly them up here and there?
I was telling Don this yesterday, but I don't have a set of effects or tones or approach to anything. Like it's always different. Always.
Is there any song that you will not say, "Oh, we could have done this here and there"?
Or is that no, because even the songs that don't have improvisation, there's always still a mix
when
thing.
You're hearing it played back, it's a completely different place than where you were when you're.
Oh yeah, and like I usually hear it on stage too. I'm usually like, oh, like the drums could have been louder here, or the guitar could have been quieter here, or whatever. Like, there's always going to be that, and I think that's what makes us get better each time. Is that we don't just like. I mean, we definitely notice that we have awesome jams and stuff. Like we're not oblivious. We don't think we suck. But we definitely, when we're listening back to ourselves, we listen for what can go better next time. And I think it really contributes to our approach.
Cool. Tell us about the dates, man. With the video, first of all, that's the first release, right?
Yeah, first music video ever. Like I said, Tuesday, April 17th at 10 or 11 in the morning. I forget when we're doing it, but it'll be on Tuesday, April 17th.
Oh,
the music video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's it dropping?
Can't say right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
So my friends here the other day, and I'm like, well, yeah, you got to check out Roadways. I didn't expect Band on a Couch to come up as the first YouTube search, right? I knew something would come up.
I think that was
including my own stuff because, I'm such a fan. And there it is. And then, wow, like, that wasn't a real long time ago. It seems like, well, it depends how you, and what lens you look at it with, but.
In the Roadways lens, it was like at the beginning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was only like
well, you
2
don't
or
know
3
that.
years.
It depends. It could. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, in perspective, I mean, how long is Roadways going to last?
That's what I mean.
You're talking about the very beginning of what?
Of Roadways.
Yeah, I know, but that remains to be seen.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I got a lot of time. Thanks for coming out. Now, talk about the process of working Don, and maybe we can work Don into that. Here's a perfect segue. Just reminiscing the other day. I'm like, hey, yeah, remember when Roadways was looking for a keyboardist?
Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about that. The acclamation getting him up. And now look at his funky gear. He's the funkiest guy in the band with all that gear, man. Like the drummer's got nothing on Don on keyboards.
He's the chairman of the boards.
Just trying to take up as much space as possible.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll say my side of it, and then Don can explain his side of it. We were looking for a keyboardist. And we had this like social media post that got like over 100 shares. Like it went far and wide. And Don didn't even see it.
I didn't see it at all.
He just adds me on Facebook, and he's like, I think we should jam along with like, or people have been saying we should jam along with this like video of him playing some song on the organ. And
I was playing Foreplay by Boston.
Right. And I was just like, this guy's dope. And then he came over to my house, and he brought over 2 synths that we've never used with Roadways except for a Halloween jam. And we had the space.
No, not even for that.
We had a spacey ass jam, and I was like, "You're in, dude." Yeah. I don't know, how was it on your end, man? Like, what was your perspective of it?
Yeah, well, I was. Yeah, there's not much to say other than that. I was.
Like, who pointed you in our direction, though?
Who pointed? A few people did. I basically like. I made that. I made a video of me playing foreplay and just decided on a whim to post it on my Facebook feed, and somebody commented with your name, like that tagged you in it.
Oh, really?
And I was like, who the hell is this? And I look at it. I checked out your page, and I don't know. I was like, it kind of looks like Russell Brand playing guitar. And
Carbon, dude.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, like long wavy hair. That's about
so
it.
fun.
Missing the accent.
And so I started asking around basically, and a couple of friends of mine were like, "Oh yeah, we were saying you should get together with him." And I don't know, like I didn't know anything about Roadways. I'd never seen that post. I just got it was basically about like my first couple of months on Facebook at all. So I knew nothing about the scene. I'd been living in Toronto for the past 5 years before that. And so I just moved back to the Falls, and yeah, basically a few friends said, yeah, you guys should check them out, Roadways. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
A lot of people saying check them out.
I figured I'd just go straight to it, and so I sent the video directly
To me.
directly to him.
Where'd you guys record new album?
Joe Lipinski, Wow
Oh,
Studios.
you did, eh? In the shed.
Oh, it was amazing. We're the
Yeah.
first band to break in his new shed in his backyard.
Oh,
Unreal,
that's
unreal producer, unreal engineer. So fun working with him. We love you, Joe.
Yeah, how many songs you lay down?
10.
10. How long is it in minutes?
55 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice lengthy album.
I always want to kill an album on the way to Toronto type of thing. And
Yeah.
actually, I went to Toronto the other night. 45 minutes to the airport.
Yeah.
An hour and a half round trip. Just a I was on my couch in an hour and a half. Maybe 1:35. So I love the idea of, especially. Do you feel like it's a concept album? Obviously,
It was going to be.
It was just a typical road
Dude,
race
it was
jam.
just about to be a concept album, but I didn't.
There was a concept for a
Slide up,
concept.
If you want to.
Yeah, we had like this whole story going on, and I don't know. It just
Well, I can explain if you want.
Yeah,
I
sure.
was the one that wrote it.
Yeah.
Don't reach for the
Yeah.
mic, Matt.
Yeah, I was-
You're not going to say anything. Holy shit.
I was writing this concept story, and I'm not going to go too deep into it. That we can save that for another time. But basically, I just didn't have enough time, and I didn't want to half-ass it. So I was like, "Fuck it! I'm just going to change a bunch of these lyrics so that it doesn't sound like I was trying to make this story that doesn't work." And then that's basically it. It was supposed to be a concept album. I mean, it is. Red Sun Rising itself is a concept that I have. I mean, it was a physical thing I witnessed in an awesome time of my life, and it stuck with me as a symbol for like a renewing of energies or a new day, right? But as far as like a conceptual album, it's not. I mentioned Red Sun in another song, but it's not. There's no story that you can follow. You could probably find a story if you want. But
How many man hours you figure you've got in it? Total, everyone up. Just guess.
like man hours writing or man hours.
All everything. Front to back, starting, writing, rehearsing, pressing, recording.
Dude, it's like my whole Roadwaves is my whole entire life.
gosh.
So I would say every hour that I'm alive is for me. I don't know about you guys, but
So a little while, yeah.
yeah, it's just a little while.
How many hours recording in studio to get 10 tracks down?
What do we do?
I think it took
3 hours.
3 days.
Yeah, we-
3 days.
We had like 3 full sessions, and then we did like two little half sessions
So 4 days.
4 full days to finish up.
So like an 8-hour day with
8-hour
lunch in
day,
the
yeah.
middle
Yeah.
type of thing?
9-hour day with lunch in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Lighthouse, we did it live off the floor too.
Yeah.
So that did save time as well.
Yeah.
Instead of doing track by track by
So
track
what's the
by track.
advantage there? And I'm trying to get this mic thing down. Thank you for the people that are staying with me. I don't know if it's better to screw with the board or whatever, but I'm trying a whole bunch of stuff. So Yeah. What's the difference? I mean, I know it's a different kind of concept as far as the acoustics go, but
Right.
technically, why wouldn't you want to be off the board and just you could screw with it later, or is that the whole thing? You don't want to screw with it later.
That's kind of the whole thing. Is like there's a lot of the older records you listen to. There's a certain magic there, and it's a lot. People are finding out now that it's actually a lot of the flaws that make it what it is.
Really?
And nowadays you find that people like individually track everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. It sounds super clean, but there's something in my ear that's wrong with too clean, too polished. I sometimes
It's almost mechanical.
yeah, or dry or something. Like I like when you hear a slip or you know that the band was meshing together. And not only that, but a lot of our songs wouldn't work like not together. Like there's no way we could jam out like a song and do it individually. It just wouldn't work. Wouldn't sound good.
Now, you've always told me about like so much of your performance comes from the audience, right? But that's not always an option. You don't get to pick your reaction from the audience.
It
So
is an
does that-
option.
Yeah,
It's always an
it's
option.
your option. how
If
you
there's no
accept-
reaction from the audience, that's a reaction.
or
If
no
there's
audience.
no audience, that's
you
us
still
playing.
gotta recreate that
We're s-
passion in
we're
the studio
still-
with no audience, right?
Right, but the thing is, I think, yeah, exactly, and that's why it'll never pan out. Like we're always going to sound better live, in my opinion. But even when there's no crowd, that's still us reacting to there being no crowd. So we still play differently, based off like any variable is going to make us. That's why I love to improvise, because it's not just we're just playing what we remember from 10 rehearsals. No, we're literally responding to each other live, off the floor, always.
Festivals.
7 booked this year.
What's your favorite? Well, like if you could pick your favorite whole headliner, not being the obvious choice right now, but what do you like doing? Like coming up late in the afternoon before the big guys, or starting it out early with the first early risers? I mean, you guys would be a perfect breakfast jam. You know what I mean? I don't go to many festivals, but I'm
Hey, we
wondering,
did that in
you
the
do
Soil
a lot
last
of
year.
them. They're all day. They're all day jams.
We did an 11 in the morning jam at in the Soil last year.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite is to like either close it out or play when it's dark, because it's just a totally different vibe. Like I find that our jams, I'm a bit less insecure about our approach when it's dark, and I feel like almost hidden.
That's cool. Can you lend us an idea about what the album's about? Lyrically, I mean, I don't know you that from that standpoint. I listen to,
Okay.
I
Well,
find as I get older, I seem to not care less and less about the lyrics. It's just like for so much of it, I'm like, oh, that's what he says. Like
Right.
the lyrics used to be so important to me. Now they're so easy to get.
Right.
Now I'm listening to 40-year-old vinyl, 30-year-old
Right.
vinyl. I'm like, oh, they say that there.
Right.
So,
So conceptually, it was like when I had the concept and the story going, it was about a guy that kind of goes through a shitty time in his life, a down and out moment, and then as the album goes on, it's supposed to kind of like a friend kind of shows him different insights that brings him out of his hole and experience life in a new light, a red sun rising, so to speak. And then when that story dissipated, I still kept that general theme of like, it's kind of like it gets better message. Like it always gets better, or you know what I mean? Like if you're at rock bottom, like you can only go up type thing. That's kind of the theme of it. Like if you listen to the words, it's a lot of like, there's tones of like, I don't know, insecurity and like self-hatred or whatever. And then there's tones of like, you can do it, and like uplifting kind of a spirit. It's hard to explain myself when it comes to that. I'm not the lyricist I want to be.
how much are you putting in guitar licks every day?
That's a funny question.
How many, like, if you were to average your daily practicing, so, like, I mean, God love you, because somebody said to me the other day, I'm not good at discipline. And they said, well, practice discipline. I said, I'm not good at practicing either. So, bro, I know you have, I mean, your whole game has come so far. And just when we're, you're a young guy and we're looking at you and going, damn, it's good. And then, wow, he's even better. So I know you're religious with your practicing. So if you were to average it out, what would you say you spend practicing your licks on guitar every day?
Well, like, do you mean, when you say that, do you mean practicing my licks or like practicing guitar?
Well, what's the difference?
Because there's my licks, I consider that vocabulary, and that's like 1/10 of what I work on.
See, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right, but I'm just trying to like clear it out. Like,
trying to do
in terms of that, that's like 1/10 of what I work on, and I don't work on that every day.
How much are you playing a day total?
About 3 hours a day. Like,
okay.
I try to do more, but lately, just with all the tour booking and the album release and the press and all the emails and stuff, like I get about 3 hours a day. But it's like focused. Like, I don't noodle around and stuff. I have like 3 hours of stuff that I know I'm working on. I feel like they should talk.
Talk to us a little bit about the tour that's coming up. You got any special dates? Like who you got, isn't it great when you book a festival and you're like, hey, look who's playing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys want to talk about some gigs you're looking forward to?
On tour you're playing with this summer? 40 dates?
I'm trying to remember the dates. There's so many.
Who are you listening to now, Maddie?
Who am I listening to? Like music wise? Yeah. Oh boy.
Do you go in phases?
It's a lot of phases.
Who are you crushing on now?
Right now, I gotta say I'm back on to Rush. I was off them for a little while. little I had to dial it back with the Rush. Yeah, Rush, bit of Zappa, a little bit of Fish, but Beatles, kind of all over the place sometimes. AC/DC, going back to the classic rock. Yeah, it's just in phases, man. Yeah.
What about you, Yo? Do you crush on anything? I went through, like I said to you guys earlier, and I'm ashamed to admit it because I'd like to see them in concert, except there'd be 14 and 15 and 16-year-old girls at 21 Pilots. That album was really tight. I crushed on it for months. And then, you listen to the hell out of it, and then you're done. But there's some really good tracks, and there's two guys. And then I'm a USS fan, too. So, but I find myself road waves. I went through The Lighthouse, Aaron Berger's Color and Light. Wow, that's a good one. I crushed on that start to finish. And then, what I find so great and so fascinating is how you start out and there's the hit that you like first, and then you wear that one out first, and the other ones kind of creep up around you. And then the ones that you were skipping to get to the ones that you like start to creep up on you. And then you're like, hey, I like Calgary. Yeah. I didn't know I liked that song because it's number one, and I used to skip by it to get to 3 all the time. Yeah. So I love the way it's a relationship with an album almost. Totally. And I don't know. I still think it's that way. You press play and you let it finish if you can. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, I'm cranked to see what you guys got up. But are you the same? You crush on stuff?
Yeah, for sure. You got to give the album like multiple listens to get the full understanding of what they're trying to get at. And like you said, you find songs that you like, and then other ones just creep up on you.
What type of music you listening to though?
Lately, I've been listening to a lot of funk, like James Brown.
Old stuff?
Yeah, a lot of funk. I've been learning a lot of it on bass, so it's just something I've been listening to a lot lately.
Now, because you started out, and this is so cool, and we can talk about working Don into the band as well, because I can't imagine, that's like you guys were a unit already, but in a different form. So you went from guitar, like on the couch, you're on guitar, and
yeah, I was playing guitar, and then
someone was just saying the other day, man, Yo is killing it on bass now. I'm like, really? I thought he was good the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. I recently picked up the bass once they asked me to play with them again, and it's been really fun. Like, I didn't expect bass to be this fun, to be honest.
Well, you maybe,
not that I have anything against bass. I appreciate
you smiling right now, and maybe you could smile for once when you're on stage or show a little bit. You are such a freaking robot up there. Don't believe it. Look at, is he awake? Oh yeah,
that's like general. I saw a video the other day. It was like, it was like a class of all these bassists, and they were all just super chill.
Yeah, I think that's just
time too,
what bassists do.
Yeah, but I look at John at Whistle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of the Who?
No, never was. No, I was a
Me
big
neither, to
Rush
be honest.
fanboy.
I was never
And
huge
you know
on
what?
them.
I think
Oh, blasphemy.
I think I still have to
Could
say,
say the same
you know,
about
I hate
Fish and you.
to say this, but my two favorite bands are Floyd and Depeche Mode. But I mean, just I love their stuff from old to finish, and same with Floyd. I got into Floyd at a very certain time in my
Me
life
too.
where, you know what I mean, the concept
big
album
into
blew
them.
me away, and then man, I went deep, including Laser Floyd on Purple Mike, which wow, I mean that'll change your life
Nice.
forever.
Jealous.
Wow. So yeah, we're drifting. So, you know, Donnie, what are you crushing? Do you go through those phases where you pick, oh, I'm into jazz. Oh my God. I was in a Garth Brooks at one time, I think. Somebody I was living with at the time was playing that stuff nonstop, and I actually grew to appreciate it at some point. I heard it so much, you know, it was just, you know, strange. I don't know. I'm never going back to country. What are you listening to? What are you crushing? Do you do that?
Right now, like,
Because for me, it's all local stuff. That's all I got is you guys. Thank God.
what have I been listening to? I've been listening to probably a lot of jazz, like Horace Silver, Thelonious Monk, kind of stuff. Weather Report, love that.
I really thought it was cool sitting in with the jam at the Lighthouse. How the momentum of it, and how it feels like a train, like it's on tracks, and it can swerve like a river.
I feel
it
the exact
winds,
same
and
thing.
it the tempos. And I'm not a musician. I have such a huge appreciation for it, obviously. Like a river sometimes, and then sometimes like a vehicle almost, like G-forces and 180s and spin outs and drops. And you know, I was watching Aaron Berger and fascinated by this, because many times you guys at the jam will pick up on an instrument that you want to learn on and practice on that a lot. So watching Aaron play drums, and his unpredictability, you know, at a time when he's practicing, he's learning, right? And how he could drop it or back out of the tempo or increase the tempo at that point that, you know, he was building to. And then everyone else changed.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And then I was wondering how much because it's all about me, how much me playing the bongos might affect Berger playing the drums.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it would,
You know, I wonder, it's like a domino. I find it
It's a
so
conversation.
fascinating to sit in with someone that can just jam.
Yeah.
Is kind of rare, and a lot of people are intimidated by it. And I've started a little Sunday jam every few weeks. I'm doing one this Sunday as well. If you guys can make it out, it's great. And the best part about it is people are meeting each other. But when you can jam all stiff and stuff like this when you start out, but then somebody goes to leave and they're like, everyone's like, whoa, just break it. You break into a really filthy, great, fun jam because, before you go, let's let loose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
And that's the
I'm
thing is
fascinated by watching it, the progression of
jams get way better when there's no pressure. Like, that's one thing I like about like listening to Fish and the Dead and stuff like that, is if you pay attention to what part of their tour they were on and how they played, you could see that like by the end of their tour there was less pressure. Or like if like yesterday or a couple days ago was the like 20th anniversary of the Island Tour, Fish's Island Tour, and it was like basically like a one-off thing and there was no pressure. So if you listen back to those, there's some of like the hottest jams ever, and I love that. That's, to me, a jam, like you were saying, it's very much like a train. It's very much like a river, a flow of water, and it's very much like a conversation. And any one person can affect that thing, and any situation or predicament or the context can really affect that. And it's fun to pay attention to that. It makes listening to a band a whole bigger story. More than just the music, it becomes about the experience.
I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to the Facebook Live piece, but I got some people chiming in, so sorry I didn't get to.
No worries.
I'm trying to figure out this recording thing over here. It's driving me crazy. I think the video will be good that goes up. Not that it's not good. This is fine. People are enjoying it. Thank you for spending the time. I really appreciate it. So, you know, I made my first little fun video. Thank you for the inspiration, because
Yeah, man.
you know, we're friends, and I just want to say I'm grateful for you and all you guys.
Likewise,
But
brother.
G especially, man, I find it, I'm telling my friends in my life, sometimes about people that mean something, and you're a young guy, but I feel this sense of wisdom I get, and it's reciprocal. It goes back and forth. So, one, I love you for that. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for bringing all the boys in.
Love you too, bro.
I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this. Oh, you left your Gmail open at my place the other day. I'm like, oh, man. Who wants to? This is the ultimate freaking tweet right here. Hey, just saying. Jay was on my place today, and I happened to have a company.
Hey, you could have leaked our album.
This stuff.
Totally could have leaked our album.
Yeah. When's it coming out? What's the date? What are we doing?
Friday, May 11th.
May 11th. What about the video?
The video is Tuesday, April 17th.
Both at Warehouse.
No, the video itself.
Oh,
well,
the
video
just dropped.
Video's
Okay,
just dropping
you were doing
online.
A video release party.
We did record at the Warehouse too.
Oh, you did a video.
Thank you, Eric
problem.
Dixon, for that.
Yeah, that was good. Oh man, was that? No, tell me. I don't go to all your shows. I prefer to watch you right here because that's But I'm certainly open to when you stepped on stage at Taps the other night after where we were at the. Oh, you did your video thing, and then we went to Taps, and then it's like oh man. Most of the times it's after the event when you look back and go, that was magic.
Right.
Sometimes if you're aware enough, and I think I've grown in that capacity, is to go, oh, this could be nice.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was talking about.
Not because you just think it's going to be, but that was a really cool jam.
It's because the pressure's
last night
off.
with Old Child.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like here's another example. Like Fish on New Year's is a huge thing. And like when you first get into them, you're always looking forward to like the New Year's show and see how they play. And it's usually actually like one of the worst shows of that little run. And it's always like the night before New Year's or the night after New Year's where it's like, holy fucking shit. Like they're killing it. The pressure's off. Now they're just jamming. Like it's more fun that way. And like that is one thing about the jam is sometimes you do get in your head. Like even up there, like I was just getting warmed up by the end. Like,
yeah, that's why you threw down the guitar.
I didn't throw down anything. I did that once and I'll never do it again.
Oh, yeah. All right, you guys want to play a couple more, or what are you feeling like? You want to take a break, or you want to go straight into like just roll up, cold right up? We can keep talking.
I'm down with anything
got nothing
really.
but headphones over here. Oh, and
We'll probably have to reset up the mics to play again.
oh yeah, okay, good. Mm-hmm. So we got the dates. I mean, we can come back after if you want, but no, I appreciate you guys coming in, man. Lots of love.
Oh, and if you need tickets to our CD release at Warehouse, May 11th, you can go look up the event, and there's a ticket link. Takes you to Ticketfly, I think it's called. Yeah. And it's $10, or we can deliver some physical tickets to you. We got a couple of those left. We're anticipating a sellout, so get your tickets quick.
Brother,
whatever camera I'm looking
at. Yeah, look
one
at
or the other.
Oh, that one's Facebook over there. This one's actually being recorded for later on. But are you promoting your shows in order?
What do you mean by that?
Well, can you not promote something that's happening before something else happens?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, we have a show before our CD release. May 5th at This Ain't Hollywood, Hamilton. We're playing with Diesel Dog. Come out to that.
Yes, no, Diesel Dog. Tell me about those guys. I miss them every time, and
they're
everyone
sick
tells
as
me
fuck,
they're
man.
awesome.
Yeah, they're legends. I
and
love them.
you played with them before, right?
I've played with them twice.
Is it a good room in Hamilton? Have you played there?
Yeah,
What's the room again?
I haven't played there, but I went there a couple weeks ago. It's called This Ain't Hollywood. Okay. I think it's on James, but I forget. In Hamilton, and it's a nice room. It's a nice stage. It's a nice high stage. Diesel Dog is awesome. You guys got to check them out. Everyone needs to check them out. They're like one of the first Ontario jam bands that I ever heard, and I fell in love. They're great.
How many Niagara shows you doing this year? This summer?
This year we have, I think, 3 booked, and that's probably it. We probably won't do more than that. We're trying to spread out our market now that we're touring more and getting a bit more serious. We don't want to oversaturate our market around here.
So what do you got? Can you talk about the local shows you got coming
Yeah,
up?
we got, so you already know about the CD release. June 9th, we're playing with My Son the Hurricane at Warehouse as well. That's going to be an awesome show. That one will probably sell out too. Like, so get your tickets for that one.
Who else? Is it just you and My Son the Hurricane? Or
There
somebody
might
else
be
on the
another
bill?
band. I think I saw that maybe No Band, like KNOW band, might be there on the bill. I think I saw something, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Date on that again?
June 9th. That's a Saturday. Saturday, June 9th.
Okay.
And then there's another Niagara show I can't talk about right now. Just not announced yet. Don't want to step on any toes. And yeah, I think like I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but we're playing Livestock Niagara. That's gonna be a sick one this year. Rafik, big ups on it. It's gonna be a huge year. I think that's it for Niagara for this year.
Nice. All right, brothers. Thanks for the time. Website. Are you still doing a GoFundMe for the album?
Yeah, there is a
and stuff like that?
GoFundMe for our album. If you type in gofundme.com/roadwaves, or you can just go to our site and buy some merch, www.roadwaves.ca. Anything helps, but the GoFundMe it's set up as a fundraiser, but every single donation gets you something. Even something like $1 will get you a digital pre-order of our album. So it's pretty fair. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool.
Say goodnight, and then we're gonna come back and all right, we'll light it back up.
Sounds
Well,
good.
you guys can jam. Let's take a little break.
Yeah.
Catch our breath. Maybe grab a. Steam Whistle's got a little commercial there. All right, my first sponsor.
Steam Whistle, can you endorse us?
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to support independent live music all the time. Are they still down with that?
I don't know. Let's ask them.
They make great beer. Do one thing well. That's what Steam Whistle says. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. We'll come back. We'll set up. We're going from the profile right now. Yep, got a couple peeps. And we'll come back with another live set of a couple
Much love,
peeps.
guys.
Peace out.
Peace.